Angelo Covino's Splitsville is more than just a comedy about divorce and open relationships. It's a layered exploration of love, ego, and human foolishness wrapped in slapstick chaos. To unpack it fully, let's move step by step. The story, the characters, the comedy style, and the deeper themes underneath. The very first scene tells us everything about what kind of movie we're watching. Carey and his wife Ashley are driving to a beach house. The atmosphere starts playful, even sexual, but suddenly it swerves into disaster. What begins as flirtation escalates into chaos, nearly ending in death before collapsing into a visual penis joke. Why is this important? Because Covino and Marvin are laying out the three ingredients that drive the entire film: sex, mortality, and comedy. These characters will chase desire, face endings of relationships, of identities, and stumble into absurd situations that expose their weaknesses. In the middle of that disastrous car ride, Ashley drops a bombshell. She's been unfaithful, and she wants a divorce. Carey unravels instantly. Instead of processing the moment like an adult, he panics. He flees from the car, literally running through fields and suburban yards in a hysterical sequence that doubles as the opening credits. This frantic run symbolizes Carey's whole arc. He's always fleeing problems instead of facing them. And his destination? His best friend Paul's beachside mansion. Paul, played by Covino, lives with his wife Julie in what seems, at first, to be a stable marriage. They've been together for years, and according to them, the secret to their longevity is an open relationship. They claim flexibility keeps things fresh. While Julie suspects Paul cheats during his late nights in Manhattan, while Paul insists he'd rather allow her freedom than risk losing her. To Carey, reeling from betrayal, this philosophy is alien and oddly seductive. He's desperate for belonging and connection, which makes him vulnerable. When Paul leaves for work, Carey drifts into Julie's arms. This is where the true Splitsville begins. 4 people, 2 marriages, and a chain reaction of betrayals, rebounds, and confrontations. Covino and Marvin structure the film episodically, almost like a collection of short films stitched together. Each chapter is labeled like a clause in a divorce contract, which reminds us that these messy, emotional spirals always have legal and structural consequences. Ashley's freedom. Ashley embraces her independence, filling the apartment she still shares with Carey with a carousel of lovers. This produces some of the funniest scenes, as Carey awkwardly collides with man after man, all of them overstaying their welcome in ridiculous ways. Carey and Julie. Carey, still fragile, seeks comfort in Julie, despite knowing how destructive it is. He clings to her as both a romantic rebound and a distraction from his crumbling marriage. Paul's collapse. Paul, meanwhile, discovers Julie's infidelity. His fragile ego shatters, sending ripples through both his marriage and his professional life. He becomes angrier, more paranoid, and more desperate. The narrative doesn't follow a clean arc. It jumps forward in time, leaving gaps the audience must fill. This mirrors real relationships, messy, non-linear, filled with sudden jumps and regressions. Splitsville doesn't rely only on witty dialogue. Its comedy is physical, absurdist, and cinematic. The fight scene. Carey and Paul's blowout brawl is staged like a mix of Jackie Chan choreography and Jacques Tati absurdism. Every piece of furniture, every object in Paul's luxury home becomes part of the battle. It's slapstick, but it's also symbolic. These 2 men are literally destroying the trappings of wealth and stability they think define them. The apartment circus. Ashley's new lovers cycle in and out of her apartment with machine-like regularity. Carey, stuck in the same space, becomes a sad clown, lost in his ex's new rotation. It's humiliating, hilarious, and tragic all at once. Nicholas Braun's cameo.
Near the end, Braun, from Succession, appears as a gloomy mentalist at a child's birthday party. He predicts what the men will say with eerie accuracy. It's a meta-joke. These men are so predictable, so trapped in patterns of immaturity, that a stranger can literally script their dialogue. Unlike The Climb, which centered almost exclusively on Covino and Marvin's bromance, Splitsville gives more screen time to its women. Johnson's Julie and Arjona's Ashley are sharper, funnier, and more self-possessed than their male counterparts. Ashley. She seizes her independence, exploring her desires without apology. But the film doesn't romanticize her choices either. It shows the instability and awkwardness of trying to live free while still entangled with an ex. Julie. She navigates Paul's hypocrisy with wit and intelligence. Johnson, especially, shines when allowed to be playful rather than brooding, and here she injects levity into every scene. Still, both women remain underwritten compared to the men. They're often framed as reflections of Paul and Carey's insecurities rather than fully independent arcs. Fortunately, Johnson and Arjona's performances give their characters dimension the script doesn't. Covino refuses to treat comedy like disposable TV. He and cinematographer Adam Newport-Berra elevate the genre with style. Cinematography. Wide shots shrink the characters against their luxurious surroundings, highlighting how small and ridiculous they are compared to their environment. Windows and corners frame chaos from a distance, making us voyeurs to their dysfunction. Editing. Sarah Shaw allows scenes to breathe. Jokes unfold slowly, tension builds, and chaos is given room to spiral naturally instead of being cut into pieces. The fight scene, for example, works precisely because it's long and sloppy, just like the men themselves. The result? A comedy that looks as gorgeous as a prestige drama, proving that style can enhance humor rather than distract from it. In classic remarriage comedy fashion, everything circles back. The climax takes place at a birthday party for Paul and Julie's son. Predictably, it all falls apart. Arguments erupt, secrets spill, chaos reigns. But rather than pushing things into total absurdity, Covino and Marvin rein it in. The humor stays grounded in character flaws, not random silliness. The ending feels both inevitable and abrupt. Relationships don't resolve neatly. Some fractures remain, some wounds linger. Like real life, it's messy, rushed, and slightly unsatisfying. And that's the point. Beneath the gags, Splitsville is a story about male fragility. Carey and Paul embody how men often respond to betrayal, with aggression, denial, or sulky avoidance, rather than maturity. The myth of cracking the code. Open relationships, monogamy, remarriages, none of these are foolproof solutions. The characters who claim to have it figured out are the ones who unravel the most. Comedy as exposure. We laugh at our characters, not to humiliate them, but to reveal our shared foolishness. We're all predictable, all messy, all capable of making the same ridiculous mistakes. Splitsville could be dismissed as another movie about dumb men, but that undersells it. It's a smart, stylish, laugh-out-loud comedy about the ways we sabotage love and fool ourselves in the process. Dakota Johnson and Adria Arjona ground the chaos with sharp, likable performances, while Covino and Marvin lean into idiocy without ever losing our sympathy. Add in Adam Newport-Berra's beautiful camera work and Sarah Shaw's precise editing, and you've got a comedy that feels cinematic, not just funny. The ultimate test for a comedy is simple. Did it make you laugh? From the outrageous opening to the predictably unhinged finale, the answer here is yes. And you'll know within the first 5 minutes if it works for you.